And we are broadcasting live on iHeartRadio. Check out our website at monsters.fm. Welcome back. I'm Russ Rollins, along with Savannah and Angel, Ryan Holmes, Carlos, and our special guest once again. Always great to see him. Is the one and only Bob Saget. How you doing, Bob?
I'm really good, Russ. I was concerned because I was contacting you on Twitter, and then somebody ambushed your Twitter. What happened? You got pirated? What happened?
They took. That's how a lot of people do get hold of me, is on Twitter. Like, I have a lot of people that's how they get me, and they took over my account. I had like 13, I don't know, I had a bunch of followers. They took it, and then so I complained to Twitter, and like, okay, we'll get you your name back. And when they gave it back to me, I had like one follower. So yeah, it sucks.
That was me.
Well, I appreciate that. Hey,
are you back to normal now? Are you back?
No, I'm not back. I've got like 30 followers now. I got to start from scratch and start all over again. No.
That's bizarre. So maybe the hacker went and dumped all your followers. That's not fair.
Well, they took them somehow. I don't know how it works, but I know that I don't have the followers anymore. And that was the one thing I had. You know what I had? You know what I loved about my Twitter account? This is a true story. Is that I have a long thread of me going back and forth with Ralphie May. And a matter of fact, I was supposed to go see Ralphie May about 4 days before he passed, and I had messages from him going, "I'm going to take you out in Nashville, Russ. We're going to go eat and barbecue," and had all these wonderful things from Ralphie May, and I lost all of that, which sucks. And a bunch of other people too that you're one of the people that would get hold of me on Twitter, Michael Sweet from Striper, like all these other people that I really love. And I lost all that, man. It sucks.
That sucks because I loved Ralphie. I just was at a documentary for him. It's really it's tragic when funny people are going, and it's life, but he went way before his time. I wish we could have just kept him on a treadmill for a couple of years,
And he was generous. He was he would come in and he would donate. You helped us for our telethon. By the way, we raised over $26,000 that day.
But that's fantastic. I promoted it the next day. I didn't know if it was still okay to do that.
No, it was.
Still taking calls.
It was great. They were still taking calls the next day, so they still were taking money. But
great.
I was thinking about you yesterday with the passing.
Were you in the restroom?
I was not. I know, actually, I think I was. I might have been.
It was a big dump.
And I was thinking about how
I was thinking something else.
and this is meant as a total compliment. But you are sort of the male Betty White, and when I say that, I mean
hotter. Let's be honest. Hotter.
Started a sitcom
and not as old. Let's say that too.
Yeah,
100% not that old.
But one day he may be.
Away.
I mean, when Bob Saget's 99, it'll be the same feel,
I'm not stopping. I'm never. I had people go, "You got to retire." I go, I haven't even done what I came here to do. I was talking to Bill Burr about it, and we were smoking a cigar, and I said, I haven't even, as far as directing, as far as doing a really good stand-up special that I'm really, really, really proud of, and that's what I'm working toward now, and that's why I'm on tour. That's why I'm coming to you guys on Friday at the Hard Rock, and I'm talking to Bill. I said, I haven't even done what I came here to do. And he said, well, you better effing hurry up, I said, hey, 65 is not old. I got a 99-year-old friend. Norman Lear's 99. He's got 3 shows on the air, but he's Norman Lear.
He's Norman Lear, yeah. Hey, did you ever work?
Betty White was, she was so great.
Did you ever work with her or meet her? Because we all.
I actually, when she passed, I put a story on Instagram, and it was a true story. We were on an ABC junket, private jet with all the ABC stars on it. Back in the day, they used to rent out a 767 or whatever plane existed that was new at the moment. And we were drinking Bloody Marys because Betty even said in interviews, when you look at the retrospective that they've been running, "Oh, what are your hobbies? I like vodka."
Yeah.
And so we were drinking Bloody Marys, and then I just looked at her and I said, "Come on, Betty, you and me, let's go to the bathroom, Mile High Club, let's do this." And she says, "Okay, you go first and wait for me." And I went in there, and the joke that I wrote on Instagram is I waited 2 hours. But she was there so quick. She did a lot of stuff with Bob Hope also. So she had this quick wit of always, what I love are certain comedians, that are able to be exactly off camera like they are on camera, or on stage. And she just had it. She could wake up in the morning, shine a light on her. I mean, look at me. It's it's 5 in the morning in LA. I don't care. I feel like I could be in the studio with you right now. And
Yeah.
she was, man, what a great person. She always loved Alan Ludden, her husband, and that's
wow.
I read that was the last thing she said was his name. She said Alan because she loved him. 40 years he'd been gone, something like that.
I saw an interview with her, and they asked her if she was afraid to die or whatever, and she said, "No, I'm actually looking forward to seeing my husband." Like that that's what she that's what she looked forward to. So yeah. What do you think it is about her that people love so much? She's one of those her and Dolly Parton, and I put you in that category.
That's really sweet. I wish I had Dolly's body because I wouldn't leave the house. But
I could Photoshop you.
I don't know. Can you Photoshop me? I don't know if I could say that right now. What I just
Russ
said. Maybe
would
will
want
cancel
that.
me.
Yeah.
No, I think
You
I'm
can't
okay.
cancel Bob Saget. If I read the story Bob Saget is canceled, it would blow my mind, and I'm over humanity at that point.
Because he wants Dolly Parton's body.
What's weird is all the stuff I've done that's cancelable, I've admitted and apologized when I did it. And I still feel bad about stuff I did in the 2007 special on HBO, or a thing I wrote in my book where I apologized for it, or my roast where I said, please don't say these things about people that I love, and I didn't say them. And Norm Macdonald, who we talked about last time when I was thanks for having me on, by the way. You're very gracious, all of you.
Yeah, we fit you in, really.
Yeah,
I know you did. I like when you say that to me, but but it's I apologize along the way. I'm not a fan of some of the stuff I've done, and I don't want to hurt anybody.
But that's humanity. That's growing, and especially as a comic, and as a comic that's been doing it as long as you're going to say the stuff that's offensive. It's part of being the comedian and doing that thing. And it's okay to grow as a person and be like, yeah, I didn't like that now, and I can see like that was weird. And I think that's totally fine. But to be like, you're canceled, you're done. It's such a weird society we live in.
It's weird when it's over material, and it's weird if you're not a political leader. And we all know that no matter what politics you have, if someone says something, and you watch that clip on the news, that doesn't get them fired from their job. It doesn't ruin their career, even if they get caught with someone behind a bus, But with comedians, we've been behind buses for years.
Well, I think it's hard to speak truth to power at the same time. Like there was that Robin Williams movie, was it like Wag the Dog, where he was a comedian and became the president. You're never supposed to do that. We're the guys that are supposed to speak the truth and not, and we're the canaries in the coal mine of society for a lot of times. So I think a comedian losing a job over material is always going to just rub me the wrong way.
And it's interesting. I'm going to plug my friend Judd Apatow. He's doing a documentary, drum roll on George Carlin. And it's going to be, I believe, on HBO. It's a 2-parter, and
he needs his due. He needs his due. George Carlin has not gotten his proper roses, I think.
You will not. You will be very, very happy, Carlos. You're going to be seeing this. It's going to blow you away because things he's saying are what we've been saying this year. And it's going to make some people angry, but because it's George, that there's that certain thing, a permission slip you get, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the credibility. He's built that equity.
He was carving out that path, man. There was nobody before him really carving out that path.
Well, Lenny Bruce, but Lenny Bruce, and they went through similar things. I mean, Lenny, and there's a picture of George following Lenny out of a raid where Lenny got arrested, and George got arrested for the night.
Wow.
Because
Great
George
mugshot, by the way, on that one.
Right. Well, George, I don't know. I don't think he got a mugshot. I think they let him out. They didn't. But what I noticed and what I was watching, but Lenny went a little nutty. If you ever saw the movie with Dustin Hoffman that Bob Fosse directed, it's a pretty good documentary. It's not a documentary, but it's a theatrical film. But it really does show the angst that he went through, and he was reading his court cases on stage. He was just,
really?
He really went neurotic and really bad. But George changed and said, I can't be this fake guy anymore, this buttoned up guy. And then he let his hair grow long, and he grew the beard. And that was a difficult transition. And then the same thing happened when he was trying to find his voice again. And I have something that he says something that really hit me and resonated with me. He's like, why? They say, why are you doing this? You're 75 years old. He says, because I'm getting better. I'm finally getting better. And that's we all know is impossible because him in his prime, which I guess is really in his 50s into the 60s, but in his 50s, he was amazing at all ages. But he went through a hard time, a really, really hard time. I've been fortunate in that I've go through hard times, but it's more in personal life stuff, in family members,
Wasn't
things
a manager
like that.
thing with him too, and like a whole money thing, and just like there was a lot going on. I've read his books, and he doesn't go too deep into that, but like, yeah, he was just definitely one of those first comics that I saw that wasn't on that on TV every day, and then I read his book, and I was like, whoa, and then you see the history. But I wonder how he would do today,
Hey, by the way, Bob Saget's with us. Bob Saget's going to be at Hard Rock Live coming this Friday. You want to see Bob Saget at Hard Rock Live. I have a question for you, Bob. This is something that Ryan Bryan, who's on here, this is a theory he has. And I want to see what you think about this.
Saget, man.
The theory is that being good looking is hard on a comic. It's too difficult to be a good comic if you're as good looking as he is.
He tried to convince us that he would try to ugly himself up so he could be more relatable to the audience
and funnier. What do you think about that, Bob Saget?
Ryan tried to ugly himself up.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Ryan, you don't have to. You're there, bro. Good morning. Good morning, Orlando.
Say hi to the Orlando, Bob.
His point was that you don't see many good-looking comics. What do you think?
I was always made fun of, always, through school. My last name rhymed with stuff. People threw rocks at my head. It was a rough go. And I always had this nice long nose. That was a lot to make fun of. If you get me at the wrong angle, I look like a bullfrog. If you look at pictures of me if you Google me, you'll look at me. My head's the size of a pumpkin, and that was a rough year just personally, because I drank more than I had body fluid. And but it's just I do look good sometimes on the TV.
Yes, you do, Bob. Yes, you do.
But other times, but I'm not as good looking as Ryan. That's the truth. That's a young man. That's Rodney Dangerfield's young comedian.
No,
special.
Ryan's got the recovering addict youth pastor look. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. And Bob, you had the good-looking. Come on, you had to be the good-looking San Francisco host news. You ain't showing up on Full House. You replaced a dude that wasn't good-looking and
that should have never come out. That was really
that seemed
bogus
mean,
that they did that. There's a really nice man, and he's a good guy. Never met him. Everything I ever saw of him, everything I knew from John and Dave. They shot the pilot with an actor named John Posey. And when you get a job and you get replaced, you're not supposed to. No one's supposed to talk about it.
Right.
And these nimnuts went and put it on a DVD box set, the original pilot, and all that does is a lot of people goes, well, I can't imagine it without Bob, or why didn't they keep him? He was good. I didn't understand it. I got fired from a morning show in CBS because I was too hot for morning television, they said. But he's a great guy, and I don't think you do that to people, but that's where we are. Even back then, is put it on a DVD. It's not a nice thing to do to people. We're living in a real.
When it's a gig of a lifetime, it's the gig of a lifetime that you work as an actor to book one of these, and then they pull you. That's like a thing you don't ever want to tell.
Yeah, but we didn't know. We were living by the skin of our teeth on that show. That show, the first year, they were like, I don't know if we're going to bring it back. And we started the same time Seinfeld did, and they didn't know if they were going to come back. No. It took like 3-4 years. For both of those shows, obviously the antithesis of each other. You got Full House, and then you have, Jerry discussing what a toothpick is used for, and how brilliant that show. I don't think he ever did that, but remember the toothpick episode?
Oh, it was great. It was a good one.
Right.
Bob, can I ask an important question that's driven me crazy for, I don't know, my entire life?
Ooh. Why aren't you better looking?
Yes. I hate you, Russ. I hate you for that. And so on Full House, I was a big fan. It was right in my wheelhouse, right during the same kind of time. But Full House, the intro to Full House, iconic song. But then
whatever happened to
predictability? You've never heard it before, I know, Bob. I'm sorry.
No, never.
Why did they change? Okay, so the title, like when you look at the old title, all the text was in white, and then they changed it to yellow for some reason. Why did they do that, Bob? It's been driving me crazy.
Why would you ask him?
That's a stupid question.
You should have seen a doctor as a child. I really think so. I think Ritalin might have helped. I mean, you're looking at the wrong stuff. If you're looking at the color of the title,
oh my god,
and the person's face above it. You're
a
unbelievable.
weirdo.
What do you look at when porn is on?
The titles.
Normally Bob, he has a great little quip. He has a good question. This is bizarre.
What are you doing, dude? It's the Ice Cube interview.
That's the question you have for one of the greatest comics of all time, Bob.
Excuse me, Mr.
Why
Saget.
did they have the color? Why did they change it from white to yellow, Bob?
I know that you were in charge of the chroma key and the fonts of the 92 season. What happened
I apologize, Bob. I am so
It's the
sorry.
Ice Cube interview all over again.
Yeah. Do you not get your eyes checked? Is something wrong? What happened to you?
I don't know, Bob. I hyper-focus on the weirdest stuff. I'm sorry. I just thought you might have the answer to this. I was like, there had to be a reason. They had to poll people and be like, oh, wait, we don't like the white titles, so let's change it to yellow.
What he's trying to tell you is he's way too good looking and he's way too smart for us all. Is what he's trying to tell us. Yeah.
No, actually, Ryan, I think the answer is you are correct. I want to make you feel better. It pops better. The yellow pops better. Rather than the traditional white title. So
I have ruined this interview, and I apologize.
No, you haven't. No, you enriched it.
We went from Carlin to font.
Hey, Bob, we're in regular radio, so we have to go to break. Would you mind?